Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Mike Finch Show's favorite guest back on the show. We got the Madman. We've got Patty the Matty. We've got the Extreme Couture Allure. He's feared in the '03 and he is beloved by the OGs. We have one of the best boxers Bellator has ever seen, rolling punches off his shoulders, standing toe to toe, all the way from Denmark, throwing hands for the people in the stands, because if you're a fight fan, you respect Mads Burnell. What's up, Mads?
God damn, can I have you introduce me next time I fight?
could I cut the audio for your walkout? Would that be good?
That would be sick, man. Is it Michael Williams, Michael C. Williams? Yeah, they need to fire him and they need to hire you as a ring announcer. That would be crazy.
I'm texting the bosses right now, bro.
Right
I'll let
now,
them
right?
know. You need to sign
That's
off on that for
crazy.
me.
There's like a whole fucking rap album you just fired off the chest right there.
Mads, good to see you, brother. Obviously, I'm a fan of yours, and it's always fun to talk to you back and forth on Instagram. You're one of the fighters who will just hit me up about whatever random shit's going on, and it's awesome. You are a very down-to-earth guy, and of course, when I posted the Bellator Lightweight Grand Prix, the first thing you did was chime in, and you told me exactly who you thought was going to do well in this tournament and
Yeah.
exactly who you thought wasn't. So what did you think when you saw this lightweight Grand Prix bracket?
I was like, God damn, that's a deep division, first of all. And I think there's four guys that really stands out. And to me, that is of course Usman, the champ, and
Yep.
then it's Tofik Musayev, and then Alexander Shabli and Banaoui. I think those four have like a great chance of winning. I think those four is like the favorites. It's gonna be one of those. I think Shabli or now Tofik and Shabli is fighting each other in the first round, which I
That's
think is
right.
it's kind of bad because I think they could both make it to the finals. Yeah, I got Chablis winning everything.
Wow, really? That's
Yep,
interesting because I think a lot of people look at the name value of the Usman Nurmagomedov and the AJ McKee, and then they sort of see the rest of the tournament. I agree with you on Tafik Messiah for sure. The dude's
he's a
hands
fucking
are
beast.
fast, man. He
Yeah,
throws wicked combinations. Tafik Messiah is a huge problem, and him going toe to toe with Shabli. I mean, obviously a hugely impressive performance against Brent Primus. Brent Primus was really upset he wasn't in the tournament. I mean, were you surprised to see this tournament bracket without Gadzi Rabadanov, without Brent Primus in it?
I mean they could have done that with those two, but then you can probably keep on. There's probably some other guys that will be mad that they weren't in the tournament, and
Right,
you
right.
know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. I
you
heard
know,
from some people that they thought it was they did wrong. They wronged them because the rankings weren't necessarily honored. But how do you do this tournament without AJ McKee? I mean, of course you're throwing him in there. And then when I'm
yeah,
looking at it, dude, I think aside from Brent Primus, who's been the number one guy talked about, I think Gadzi Rabadanov is a problem. I guess maybe they didn't want it to end up being Gadzi Rabadanov versus Usman Nurmagomedov. Maybe that's why he was left out. But Mads, when I
maybe.
look at that bracket, I feel like Gadzi Rabadanov could be the best lightweight in the world too.
He's up there, but I don't think he's the best in the bunch right there. I do not think he's the best. I think those four guys I just mentioned, I think they're all beat
Okay.
him, but he is very fucking good. He's very good, explosive, good wrestling, good hands, like nothing but respect. But I do think the other guys just have a little edge on him.
So
Yeah.
one name you did not mention, which is interesting to me because he's the guy who won the 145 tournament. He's an absolute finisher. The last couple fights have gone the distance, but my man is dynamic. He can jump, he can spin, he can kick, he can wrestle. He's got submissions that are unorthodox. He's hitting people with the 100% 10th planet style. Chael Sonnen doesn't even know what to call it, right? My man AJ the Mercenary McKee. Mads, why won't AJ McKee win this lightweight Grand Prix?
I think AJ McKee is very, very athletic, and to me, he's kind of like, in a sense, you can compare him to like a Roy Jones Jr. in a way, that he's so athletic, so strong, but he technically he does so much shit wrong. but he gets away with it because he's so athletic and quick and strong and all that stuff. And I just think those four guys I mentioned, Shabli, Tofik,
Yeah.
Mansour, Banaoui, and Usman, I think they're just too technical and they're bigger and stronger than him. And like, yeah, I think they can work around that shit, especially Shabli. I think it will be a huge problem for him. I think the two ones I see as being the biggest problem is probably Banaoui and Shabli.
When you talk about the fund, maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth now, the fundamentals of AJ McKee not being there, I mean, what are you seeing? Because one thing that I noticed, especially in that last one, that Ryzen versus Bellator card, which I'm sure you love to watch like I did, Bellator went 5-0, let's go Bellator. But AJ McKee, if you compare him to like a Patricio Pitbull, Patricio is so settled into his stance. He's so balanced the whole time. As where AJ is a lot more wild. He'll throw strikes that are a little more unorthodox, a little more offbeat, and sometimes he's a little out of position when he does that. Is that what you're seeing when you say that about AJ McKee?
Yeah, but also when I see the way he punches and stuff, it's like winging wild shots and like, yeah, it's not very like it works. It's been working for him. I can't say nothing
Right.
about that, and he's very good, of course, for a reason. Like, hats off to him. But I just think it's, and also if we take into the Patricio fight, Patricia's a very small guy compared to AJ in height and stature and all that stuff. AJ's gonna fight guys that is gonna be his size or
155.
taller now. So I don't think he can get away with that as easy. Yeah.
That it's going to be freaking interesting to watch, dude.
It's gonna be very, very
right?
interesting.
I mean, come on, man. These fights are going to be so fun. Okay, so
but we only know Mansour is fighting Sydney Outlaw in the first one, and then Shabli and Tofik, right? The
that's
other
correct.
two fights have not been announced. It's not who AJ is fighting, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
So he's either fighting Patricky or who the fuck is the other ones?
They're probably going to give him Patricky, right? They're probably going to give him Patricky. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that just makes sense that they would do Patricky Pitbull to do both Pitbull brothers. I mean, it just sells too well.
Yeah, yeah, but who's the other? It's AJ, Banaoui, Tufik, Usman, Shabli, Patricky,
Yeah, and Shabli,
Sydney Outlaw.
Sydney Outlaws. You
Who's the
said
last
books.
one?
Yeah, I didn't see that one, Mads. I saw, obviously, Usman Nurmagomedov is fighting Benson Henderson. I might as well park it
It's
right
Benson.
there.
It's Benson.
Benson Henderson.
Yes.
Benson Henderson is getting the title shot against Usman Nurmagomedov. Mads Burnell's pick is
Usman. I think, yeah, Usman. Yeah, because
Benson Henderson, they don't call him smooth for nothing, man.
no, he's smooth and he's good and he has experience, but he might just be a little over. I never want to say over the hill because that's what I hate about fighting. You lose one or two, and then people are like, oh, he's done. And then we've seen it with the what is the Russian's name who he has a nose that looks like the Superman logo, the big Russian former UFC champ. He's from Belarus.
The big Russian is a heavyweight?
Yeah, Arlovsky.
Andrei Arlovsky.
Yeah. He lost so many fights in a row, and it was like, he's done. He has no chin, blah, 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 blah.
No,
then
man.
he came back and murked 5 guys again.
Yeah.
And then nobody was talking. So I don't want to say that shit about Ben. He could get it done. He has the experience. He fought on the highest level, but I just think Usman is his time right now.
I mean, it would be fair to say that it's harder to do that at lightweight, right? It's hard to go into your prime, out of your prime, and then back into your prime at lightweight. Lightweight is a little bit of a different beast than heavyweight, your example of Andrei Arlovsky. I think lightweight, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, lightweight and 145 are the deepest divisions in mixed martial arts. Most men who want to fight tend to be in shape, cutting weight around that 155, 145 limit. So when you have the most people competing, the person at the top of the mountain is just the best. I mean, I think it's the hardest belts to get. The 2 hardest belts to get are 45 and 55.
And 70, I think so too.
Okay.
72. Yeah. But yeah, around yeah. That size. But yeah, you're probably
if I had to guess, I'd be like maybe 50,000 mixed martial arts fighters want to be the 155 champ, and maybe like 2,000 want to be the heavyweight champ. You know what I mean? I feel like there are way more lightweights. Every time you go to like a local card, half of the card is going to be 45, 55, and 7. You're right. That's where everybody is.
That's what I also think is funny that, for example, in boxing they say, "Oh, the heavyweight is like the what do you call it, the best division, or like the
Yeah.
glamour division and shit." But if you look at the technique and like the fights and stuff, usually you don't get great fights at heavyweight. After they throw like three jabs and a right hand, they're just gassed like crazy and they're just like hanging on each other.
That's very often the case.
Yeah, so it's more like, yeah, like you say, like even from flyweight all to middleweight, I would say. Yeah, but the heavyweights, like, yeah, yeah, you're probably right. You can stay in your prime longer. The game is slower too. You can rely a little more on your power. You can't really do that in lightweight or featherweight, because when the speed is gone and your timing is just a little bit off, you're gonna get, like, your face is gonna be put to pieces.
You are one of the talents in that featherweight division. You are currently ranked number 6. Mads, you tell me, when I was messaging you back and forth, you said you might have a call out or two to make. The
Yeah,
floor is yours, my friend. Who
yeah.
does Mads Burnell want to see in that Bellator cage next?
I want to fight Daniel Weichel. Now they just announced that there is a event in Paris in May. I'm Danish. He's German. It's right next to France. Like, he's a pioneer of European MMA. I want to fight this dude for such a long time, but it's like I don't know if he's scared of something, just sitting down there in Germany shaking his pants or some shit. Because like every time I try to call him out, I don't hear anything or whatever. But I promise you, man, I can turn that dude into a schnitzel quicker than he can say Auf Wiedersehen.
He's
Vital,
coming with
yo,
the
and I will
insult.
say this, Vital, I like you. You're a cool dude, man. You're a cool dude, but I'll slap you up.
He's a veteran, man. When you look at
Yeah.
how many fights Daniel Weichel has been a part of, I mean, do you respect that?
Oh, I respect that. That record he has, that's the kind of record you can only dream of having when you retire. Like, he has fought everybody, any place, anytime. Like, I respect him, but I want to fight him.
And he hasn't mentioned your name. Okay, so I'm
You know?
posting this shit. Let's
Yeah,
see if it
post up.
materializes, man. I would
Let's see.
love
Yeah,
to see that.
in
Denmark
Paris,
versus
it makes
Germany
sense, man. You can get all your
in
German
France.
homies to come down there and with like beer and have a little Oktoberfest while I beat the fuck out of you.
I mean, it's just a great matchup. Number 6 versus number 9. It makes perfect sense, Mad. So I'm
Yeah,
all in on that fight.
we
Okay,
both have
gotcha.
a little bump on the road lately, so let's fight.
Let's go. I
Let's
would
go.
love to see it. So you were talking about activity before we went live. I mean, how many times do you want to fight this year?
I want to fight 3 to 4 times. Like every year, I just want to fight 3 to 4 times. The thing I think about fighting is like that I hate. I always try to compare it to soccer. So, for example, in the soccer season, and soccer is actually football because you actually play with the feet. But that's another story. But okay,
You're talking to me in the U.S., brother. You got me
yeah.
with soccer. We're
So
on the same
so
page.
in the soccer season, you play every weekend. So if you have a loss, oh, you know, you play next weekend. Who gives a fuck? You can redeem yourself real quick, right? In
Right.
fighting, oh, you have a loss, and people are thinking about the next time you're gonna fight. It could be a half year, it could be 8 months, it could be a year before you get in there.
Right.
I just want to fight, put on great fights. Like, of course, I want to win, but I want to put on great performances. Like, as long as I put on great performances, that's what I live for. I want to give the MMA community a Gaddy Ward. I fight like that before I retire. I want, like, I dream of having it. I hope I never get it, but, for my brain's sake. But I want to give the MMA community fights like that before I retire, so I can sit back when it's all said and done and watch it with like my family and whatever. Like, man, look at Grandpa. He was one crazy motherfucker.
Your fight against Adam Boric won Fight of the Year honors, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you've been in there toe to toe and put on one of the best fights I've ever seen live. You want
yeah.
more of those?
I want more of those. I want more of those all the time. I love it. Like, win, lose, or draw. Like, of course, you always want to win, but if you put on fights like that, it's like there's no winner or loser.
Yeah.
Everybody go home a winner, kind of. The fans is
Yeah. Well,
happy. The fighters is happy. The promoters is happy. Everybody's
right.
happy all across the board if
Right.
you put on a fight like that.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. No,
fights I
no
want to do.
question about it.
And I think me and
Yeah.
White, we could put on a fight like that. So, Daniel, I'm waiting for your answer, my man.
Let's go. All right. It's January. Okay.
Yeah,
You just had New Year's. So happy New Year's to you, my friend.
Same to
What
you.
is Mads Burnell's New Year's resolution?
Kick ass, eat ass, and stack cash.
Wow, three really distinct goals. We'll go
Yeah.
one by one. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, all right. So you're trying to stack cash. That means that 4 fights is going to help you stack that cash.
Yeah. Four
Got you.
fights. Be
Got
be
you.
be
I
ready.
mean, 4 fights will help you achieve all of the above, I guess. Wow, man. I would really love to see you fight 4 times, Mads. You tell me, are you coming back to Extreme Couture to train for these?
Sunday, I'm going to America.
When you say someday, if you get that Daniel Weichel
Sunday,
fight, you're staying
Sunday,
in Denmark?
Sunday.
Sunday. Oh,
Yeah.
you're coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. All right, I'll see you there on Sunday, bro.
America.
What's going on? You
Fuck
like a
yeah.
3-hour drive? Are we gonna work out or what?
Yeah. If you want some of these body shots, you just come to Extreme Couture. No. Nah, of course.
I don't
We
know how
can,
much I want the smoke. Maybe
no, no, no.
are you the type of guy where you're like a vacuum? You're either on or off. You spar some people like that. It's like you spar Mike Tyson. You're either fighting Mike Tyson or not. So I wonder, does Mads Burnell have a 50%, a 20% sparring?
I'm always like this. So if I go with you and you tell me, let's go light, I will go light. But as soon as you try to touch me hot, I'll try to put you to the hospital. But if
Okay.
you stay disciplined, of course I know sometimes like if I duck into something while you throwing, then it's gonna feel a little harder on me. But if you stay disciplined and respectful towards me, I will do the same to my sparring partners. Yeah. But
Addicts.
you also have those guys where you just go hard.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. Those guys just exist. I mean, all love to him, but Benil Dariush has that going on over here against Giga Chikadze at the gym, because Giga Chikadze, when you go and spar Giga Chikadze, you are going to war. You better fucking be ready to go. You better be ready to get kneed in the face if you're going to shoot. Like, Giga Chikadze is not playing with you at King's MMA. So it's yeah, it's interesting to see how different people spar. Like I saw Chris Curtis, for instance, looking like you out there, bro. Like the more I watch him box, I'm like, holy shit, him and Mads have some similarities in the way they're moving. I wonder if it's because you guys are sparring light and like you're kind of getting used to rolling with punches. Your style, Mads, it just seems like you spar a lot, right?
I do. I spar. Usually I try to spar 3 to 4 times a week. Usually I do five. It depends on where I'm in camp, but I do between 5 and 10 on Tuesday, 5 and 10 on Thursday. Then I might go in and spar 10 rounds, 8 or 10 rounds on Friday, and then spar 5 rounds on Saturday.
Jeez, man.
When I'm in the States,
Headgear
sparring.
or no headgear?
It depends on where I am in camp too, because the headgear only helps on cuts.
Yeah.
Because it is actually proven that if you wear headgear, it closes off like your eyesight, and it
Yeah.
makes the target bigger. So it actually there's a bigger chance of you getting a concussion if you wear headgear than if you're not wearing headgear. So usually I'm not.
Got you. Got
Yeah,
you. So yeah,
but
like
I don't
Vaseline.
understand. I think I've said it before, but like if I want to be good at math, I do math. If I want to be good at English grammar, I do English grammar. If you want to be good at fighting, fight.
Fight.
If I want to be strong, wrestle. If you want to have good cardio, box. And if you want to like get heavy arms and all that shit, then you just have somebody do Shark Tank on you when you wrestle. I don't understand all these people that is lifting weights and fucking squats and all that shit when you have to go in and fight. Like try to squat yourself out of a left hook to the dome. That's not gonna help. I really get inspired again by the old school boxers. Like just spar, hit the back.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't even run.
You don't even run. What
I
do you
don't
mean?
run.
All the boxing champions, Muhammad Ali, you go all the way back. They
Yeah,
would jump rope and they would run. You don't
yeah.
run?
I don't run. I don't swim. I don't. I just either grappling spar or I spar, or then I do like something like what do you call some explosive work on the back with my like some where I have to work really intense for like a certain amount of time, and then I have like a rest period, an active rest period for a certain amount of time, and then explode, rest, explode, rest, explode, rest. That's
You're
what I
not
do.
telling me you don't ever lift weights.
The only weight I lift is the hammer between my legs. That's the only weight I fucking lift.
What is happening here, man? How do you guys not lift weights? You want to know the craziest one? You tell me if he's lying or not. Dalton Rasta told me he does not lift weights. Do you believe that?
I don't know. Maybe he does.
Have you
Maybe.
have you seen Dalton Rasta?
Yeah, he's fucking huge. He looks like he was born
He
next to a
looks like
nuclear power plant or some shit.
yeah, he looks like Yoel Romero, man. Like how what do
Yeah,
you mean you don't lift weights? Dalton, what are you talking about, man? That's what he
yeah.
told me. He's like, "No, I don't lift weights." I'm
But I
like,
would say this: like, there's a pretty big difference between his physique and my physique. That
"Sure.
motherfucker ripped.
Sure.
I'm not.
But you
I'm
you're
I'm
you're
I'm
muscled, bro. You're muscled, you
I'm all
know?
biscuits and hot dogs.
You definitely have muscle on your frame, so that's interesting to hear that you don't lift weights.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess the idea is, you lift the weight, you tear your muscles up, they heal, they grow, and then you're a little stronger the next time somebody's holding you down. I think maybe lifting weights plus sparring and all that might be a decent recipe. Doing none of it, you don't ever feel like you're getting out muscled by somebody who does lift weights.
actually the opposite. I feel it's all about from that Greco. If you want to be strong, you need to do a lot of Greco, Greco, Greco. It's like all that fucking that grind. Not free. You don't get strong from freestyle, but Greco, the upper body all the time against the
When you're
cage and all
clenched
that
up.
shit. Yeah, you get strong from that. I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah, a
Yeah, that
lot.
was Randy
And
Couture's background. He would just go in there. I remember Randy Couture. Randy Couture fought Brandon Vera. Brandon Vera was better at boxing, kicking, kneeing, elbowing, jujitsu. Randy Couture couldn't take him down. I mean, you would just think that Brandon Vera, just based on those facts I just gave you, would win the fight. But all Randy had to do was get him in that under over, push him into the fence, and he just worked him on the fence. Just using Greco-Roman wrestling, he was able to beat Brandon Vera in just his one narrow place. Even though he couldn't take him down, he could out wrestle him because of that Greco-Roman wrestling. You see it in mixed martial arts. So you're doing a lot of Greco over there at Extreme Couture.
yeah, but then not let just wall clinch, wall wrestling. A lot of that stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
lot of that stuff. Yeah, I love that. Just like you said, yeah, just go in there, work people from the clinch, work the body, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, make them
Right.
tired. I mean, everybody suck when they're tired, pretty much, right?
Fatigue makes cowards of all men.
Yep, that's true. That's one thing you gotta give Randy to, always in tip top shape, and he
Yep.
got the maximum out of his potential. I
Yep.
think Randy beat a lot of guys where when you look on paper, they're like, oh, they're better than him, but he slapped the fuck out of him.
That's right. He's in better shape.
Yeah, better shape and discipline and great game plan and just a great athlete and great
And he lifts weights.
mindset.
Just kidding. Just messing around with you. I said
Mm.
Andy lifts
But
weights. Just messing
but
around.
yeah, but again with the weight thing, I won't say like this is the way to go and this is the way
I
not to
see.
do it and blah blah blah. I
I
think we're
see.
all different. You gotta figure
I
out
see.
what kind of body you have and whatever. There's not one way to
I
do
see.
it. There's a like that's the beauty of mixed martial arts. We're all different, have
Yep.
different body compositions, different reflexes, all that stuff. So we got to figure out our own style.
I love it. That's very
Yeah,
open-minded of you.
yeah. Because
At Extreme Couture.
sorry, I grew up with these boxing coaches over here in Denmark, dumbass dudes. Like, oh, this is what we did since 1935, so we got to do the same because that's what I did. Yeah, dude, you fucking 7 feet tall and got like a wingspan of a Boeing 747. I'm 5'8". Like, I can't box like you.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you have to take your own intangibles, your own skills, your own gifts, right, and make them work for
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Understood. All right. So at Extreme Couture, the most outspoken member of Extreme Couture just took a fight on very short notice. In the
Yep.
main event of UFC Fight Night, Sean Strickland accepted a fight against Nasruddin Imavov in the main event. and the odds are like almost dead even, man. People don't know what to think. It's going to be at 205 pounds. People don't know if Sean Strickland's been in the gym or not. Now, I know that you normally train at Extreme Couture, but you're not there right now, so you can't be my insider. But the first thing I want to know is, do you have any inkling that Sean Strickland has been in the gym these past couple weeks? Do you know that? And what do you think about this fight?
So all I've seen is like if there's somebody who's fighting or sparring, Strickland is there.
Yeah.
Somebody's throwing hands, Strickland. If he's not there, all of a sudden he will be there. So it will come as a big surprise to me if he's not been in the gym.
Got it.
And I gotta be honest, I haven't seen so much of that Imavov guy, but I've seen plenty of Strickland, and he seems to be pretty good against anti-wrestlers. No, pretty good against wrestlers.
Got you.
And I actually think it's going to be fun for him to. It's a weight class up, right? Than he
That's right.
usually does. So I think it could be a good thing for him to take a short notice fight, just come in as he is. And I know he's that motherfucker sparring heavyweights, middleweights, light heavyweights. He's sparring everybody like every weight, so it doesn't matter. He's a fighter. He's gonna go in there and do his thing.
Sparring heavyweights. Don't tell me
Yeah.
that Sean Strickland sparring Francis Ngannou in that gym.
Oh yeah. I've seen that a couple of times. I see him spar Gustafsson too. I've seen him spar Francis, where he's just yelling the most foul shit to Francis, just winging at him, and Francis just like going at him. Yeah, Strickland, he's a madman. I love it.
He's talking to Francis while they're sparring. I mean, is Francis being nice? Because it seems like Francis's 60-pound, 70-pound weight advantage could come into play.
I mean, I think if you sparring with Francis and he's not nice to whoever he's sparring, that particular dude who's sparring with him would be in the hospital within 30 seconds. So I would think Francis is holding back a little bit on his power.
Right.
Yeah.
And flowing with Sean. That's really good, man, because Sean
I mean,
Strickland has a really high output.
Yeah.
When you compare like Sean Strickland's style to Francis's style, I put them on different spectrums. It's like Francis has got the nuclear option, right? As to where Sean Strickland, not the most power I've seen, man. He's just got to put volume on guys. And it seems like as long as he can keep accumulating on you, that's why he'll win or lose, right? His last fight, it just seemed like he just needed 20, 30 more punches that he did not let go. It seems like he's the type of guy who needs that high output when he fights. Mads, that's why I'm concerned for him in this fight, because if he's coming in on shorter notice, didn't get to prepare, didn't get to be in his tip-top shape, Mads, it's a 5-round fight. It seems to me Sean Strickland needs that 5-round style. He needs to be ready to go marathon style and drown you with the cardio.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing that a lot of people, in my opinion, get confused. It's like, oh, you got to run for your cardio to be great. You got to do this and that. If you sparring, you condition into your body to spar. Your best cardio is this. If you can relax in there, if you can relax in there, you won't even have to push your heart rate. And that's what Sean can, because he's a fighter. He's used to people just throwing haymakers and bombs at him. He's just throwing jabs back. And I don't know for a fact, but usually he's always in the fucking gym sparring or doing something. So he's in shape, man. Like if you take 2 weeks off, you won't go out of shape. You know what I mean?
I mean, for me, it happens quick, right? I'll be in decent shape and then I'll take 2 weeks off. The first day back in the gym, I'm like, holy shit, where did my cardio go? You know, but he does have a week. He could blow his lungs out a few times. And you're right. If he's living that lifestyle, then that's what his body's going to be like. I'm definitely more of the person to get in shape to compete and then get back out of shape. If Sean's just consistently for the last couple of years been sparring every single week, you know, that type of cardio is something I've never experienced, you know. So so you're rooting for your boy Sean.
Of course, man. He's what, in my opinion, a lot more people needs to be like that, in a sense. Like what you see is what you get. I've seen so many dudes that act so nice on camera and blah 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 blah, but they're the biggest fucking assholes when you meet them in real life. And then you got Sean, who was just Sean on camera, but he's the same when you meet him. You know where you have him. I respect that.
Oh, he was up there talking shit about the French. Did you see what he was saying about the French at the UFC
something
press
like
conference?
the dude was French, and that was not something to be proud of or some shit because they got beaten in every war they've been in or some shit, something like that, right?
Yeah, he was. Sean Strickland was saying, that the French are quitters and that they're known for quitting. It's like, Sean, you're an American. In 1776, we needed the French to come and help us out, man. It was Benjamin Franklin who sailed across and was able to convince the French to come and help the United States, right, to win the war and win our independence. So we should be thanking France, Sean Strickland, not talking shit, man. What is he on about this? He's just trying to stir the pot. I think he's just trying to piss people
He's just
off, man.
trolling, man. He's just trolling. He was laughing his ass off too when he was saying that. Oh, was that the Pettis thing?
The
When he was
Pettis thing. You're missing me with that. I don't know what you mean, the Pettis thing, but I definitely saw that press conference and I did see him go after France, which was, I mean, funny for sure. But I don't know if he's familiar. Like, it was super pivotal to the formation of the United States that France, helped us out. And then, of course, the best land deal ever, right? With France. So, yeah, we got love for France over here in the United States. Don't let Sean Strickland misrepresent.